Realize Abundance Today. That's the title of a message that I wrote today. It's on my site, anyadvicefortoday.com, and I'd love for you to read it, so I will leave you a link for that. We will think of that term, that word abundance, in many different ways. Sometimes we think it's just about money. I certainly did. Because in 2010, I think that was the first time that I made $100,000 in the year. And I thought, well, that's it. I've got it now. But that wasn't it. I wasn't done. I was watching a show the other night. I love this show too. It's called Shrinking, and it's with Harrison Ford. He plays a psychiatrist, and one of his patients was talking to him, and he was complaining because Harrison would always talk about the field, whatever that was, because he said, you won't ever really be happy until you answer the field. That means answer what you were born to do. Answer what you came to the world to accomplish. And sometimes we don't get there right away, or we don't understand what it is, or we might run from it. We might say, I can't do that. That's not going to be me. I did that for a bit, so I do understand it. And when I was earning that kind of money, I shifted, and people didn't understand why I was doing that. Why would I have given that up and put myself into difficulty? Because I knew I needed to answer whatever was coming from that other place, because I had something that I knew could be even more beneficial than what I had been doing and could make a greater contribution. And then when you step into that place, that is when you feel the abundance, and everything is energy, including abundance. But we can resist it. And I resisted for the longest time because I couldn't believe what I was doing. You might have that as well. When we live in human existence, we have little clue as to what we're going to develop, who we're going to become, and we don't know how the world's going to turn out either, because it's constantly changing, which is what you're feeling now, what we've all felt. And there's an energetic shift that is happening, and it's urging each of us to answer that place, that field, and feel who we're meant to be. And that's what I'm doing. And I said, I gotta move into that place. See, because I understood what was happening in the world. I understood what was happening in your life. I couldn't explain it to you before. I just finished with the client earlier today, and she had heard me on Coast to Coast AM. And she was so moved with what I was talking about. And she said, you admitted that you had this doubt of insecurity about what you were doing. I go, yeah, I sure did. We all do. We may hide that or pretend that it's not there, but I had it. And then to accept that I had done something extraordinary was even a greater difficulty for me, because I had. I'm 75, I've moved through so much, and then to understand that this work that I had received was something that could cause any person to live a really wonderful life and could change our world. And I could say those words and people say that's not possible. And I said, yes, it is. Because all you have to do is move through your blockages. Most of them are things that you've thought you've inherited, you've started to believe, and then you use your brain to keep you in the same place. And then you try to get out of it, and then you might do some self-sabotage, because you can't move into this place that would give you this greatest feeling of who you could possibly become. That's a process that we move through in human existence. Now, you don't expect your life to give you a new philosophy, but that is exactly what happened. And a lot of people aren't going to believe it. There's one message in this thread that you will see. It says, not everyone will like you. And that's a good thing. Because when that comes about, then you start liking yourself, and you start to know that you have something that you're going to begin to believe in. And that's what I'm doing. When I saw it was guided to change and move into the work of Wilhelm, see, because I'd done so many other things in my life. And the vocal coaching, I thought, well, that's who I'm supposed to be forever. And it wasn't. Because I had developed something that could help people in a greater way. I would always talk about Zig Ziglar because he said, if you can give more people what they want, you could have everything that you want. I said, well, now I've done that. See, because I know the only blockages and the only difficulty for you experiencing abundance, if that's about what you want, money or whatever, it's only in your consciousness and you're not connected to your authentic self or your life path. And the information I received connects you to all of that. Now, I had to live it and move through it to know that it worked and it was something that was viable, but then it also got proven. We have artificial intelligence now, and we can do so many more things. And on that message, you will see where it was analyzed. There is a consciousness that we each possess, and we also have difficulty accepting our uniqueness or who we're meant to become. And we're living in a world where that could have been even more challenging. But I will tell you, because of that, it will cause you to become your greatest self. Because it'll push you to come to that comfortable place, and that comfortable place is full embodiment of who you are. And it's a process. My life was just meant to live and demonstrate the process and give it to others. There have been other philosophers, other scientists, other physicists, other people who have come before who have developed something like that that could give people what they wanted. I talk about Nietzsche a lot because he was one that this work has followed, and I didn't know that, but most people didn't believe him when it was happening, but now we all know that that was a great way of us looking at ourselves, our world, and our brains and how they operate. So many have done that. Einstein talked about it and talked about our imagination and how powerful that was. I talked myself out of that one for the longest time. But I know now that more people can achieve greatness, can live the lives that they want to have, and this work would guide them there. I didn't create it, I received it. It wasn't my doing, and that's the thing that is might be challenging for others to accept, but if you read the messages, you will understand. And they're on my site, and I'll give you the link. But what I'm also doing, because I said I must give this to more people and change, I can't do my self-sabotage, which is when you don't own who you are and what you've developed, because we each have that, and we'll just do it at different times because there is timing in the universe as well. And that was the other thing that I was able to discover through this work from Wilhelm. As you read the document, you will completely understand that, but I'm doing a channeling session tomorrow, and we're going to have it with two other people that I'm working with. Anya and Yana are going to be there, and they have been such a great support because they are so aware, and just in different places, different countries, and different ages. See, because then we start to understand that your age has nothing to do with it. What you've done before has nothing to do with it. It's just, do you choose to become aligned with your life path, with your authentic self? And this is what we're all finding at this time. And it's a really great time, and Wilhelm's called it a restructuring that we're all moving through. That means you have to break down and let go of the old you to accept the new you. And so that's what we're doing tomorrow, is accepting our new selves. You do that every day, actually. But there are other times, certain times in your life, but also in our world, where it becomes more important and more accessible. And that's what is happening. But I invite you to read the document. I want you to go through the messages. You will see, you will probably start to experience yourself in your abundance just by reading the messages all the way through. But please come to the session. We're going to have it, it'll be a replay if you can't be there in person. I guess it's an access that you can have afterwards to see it. Because I do want you to know. And I know that you are here in the world at this time, no matter what you might have thought. I know that you are here to do something wonderful, and as you embrace yourself and start living as your authentic self, you will experience your abundance, and it will be manifested in your life. That's proven science. All right, see you soon.